Hey guys, so today I'm going to make a dish with butternut squash and some sausage. It is a recipe that requires some white wine, and since I was cooking with white wine yesterday, I figured let me play off of that so I can use up the wine. A little tip about the wine, when cooking, I only use wine that I would actually drink. I never use the specific cooking wine that's labeled at the store. I think that's crap. The recipes always come out better with wine that you would typically drink, and then you can also pour yourself a glass of wine, and who doesn't love that? So I'm going to show you the ingredients, and then we'll start cooking. So here are the ingredients. Obviously, we need one butternut squash. It could be whatever size you want, depending on how much squash you actually want in this dish. Some olive oil, some butter. I have vegan butter. This is salt, pepper. You're gonna need a little bit of nutmeg. This makes this dish very fall and like very appropriate for this time of the year. So that's why I like making it now. You're gonna need some sage, sausage. I got this chicken sausage, but you can do whatever sausage your heart desires. Garlic, lots and lots of garlic, some veggie broth, chicken broth, whatever broth you want, and some white wine. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this sauce, and then I'm basically gonna pour that over the sausage. If I didn't add the sausage, this meal would be vegetarian/vegan. So you can choose to do that. If you added a different broth, then it would no longer be vegan. And additionally, sometimes I make this sauce with the sausage or without the sausage, and I put this over some gnocchi or some pasta. So that is also an option, and it could be a very good veggie type of meal, especially for the fall. So you have different choices to make when making this dish. First thing I'm gonna do is cut up this butternut squash. So I'm gonna cut off each side, and then I'm gonna cut it halfway through. So you have like the neck and then the bulb or something. And then cut the bulb halfway through so we can scoop out the seeds. Sometimes it's hard depending on what kind of butternut squash you have. So be careful with your fingers and other parts of your body. I don't know how you cut your butternut squash. And then what I'm gonna do is just peel the skin. I'm basically gonna cut it off with the knife. So let me get this done, and then I will show you the finished product. So you can see I have the seeds here. I'm gonna just take a spoon and go like this. They come out pretty easy. Oh, that's the oven. Okay, let's see. My sink is right here, so I just like dump it in the sink. There you go. Very nice. Now onto the peeling. So I have the neck. I hope you can see this. I'm just gonna go and cut it like this. I'm gonna try to get it as close to the skin as possible so that I'm not wasting the meat of the butternut squash. But it is what it is. I'm pretty sure you could take a peeler and peel it, but this is easier for me. Butternut squash is all cut up, and I'm just gonna set it aside for now. Next up, preheat your oven to 475 degrees and warm up some olive oil in a pan. The pan has to be oven friendly because it's gonna go in the oven. Now, I cut up the sausage, and I'm gonna put it in the oil that we were heating up. Because this is like the chicken sausage, that's why I cut it up into pieces. If you had an Italian sausage or some kind of a fresh sausage, you would just remove it from the casing, like the chorizo that I made before, and just saute it in there and break it up with a spoon. So whatever sausage you have, that's what you do. But I'm gonna saute this for about 6 to 8 minutes. So what I'm doing now is taking the sausage and just putting it on a plate on the side. Some of it might be a little stuck to the pan, so get that off. What I'm gonna do now is to the same pan, add the butter, let that melt, Once it has melted, then we're going to add the sage. When you add the sage, just try to put one leaf at a time. Don't overlap them. We're going to fry them up for 2 minutes, so probably like 1 minute on each side, so they're nice and crispy and golden. So it's been 2 minutes. I took the fried sage on the side on a paper towel just to absorb that oil and the butter. Now, the same pan, still the same pan. Now we have all kinds of butter and oil in there and brown bits from the sausage and the scent and the flavor from the sage. We're gonna add the garlic. So squeeze all of the garlic in there and saute for about 1 minute, 30 seconds to 1 minute, until it is fragrant and nicely golden but not burnt. And then once that happens, then you're adding the squash, and we're going to season that with the salt, the pepper, and the nutmeg. Now I added the garlic, the squash. I seasoned it with salt and pepper and nutmeg, and now I'm adding the white wine. We're gonna let this cook for about 1 minute to 2 minutes and move this around and try to scrape up all of the brown bits. Now I am letting this mixture with the wine bubble a little bit and reduce. Then I'm going to add the stock. You can add 1 cup to 2 cups. It depends on how saucy you want the sauce. I don't want it super saucy, so I'm just going to start off with 1 cup, but if it needs more, then I'm going to add a little bit more. Let that cook for another couple minutes until that bubbles. We're going to add the sausage back, and then it's going in the oven. This is bubbling. Everything's in here, all the vegetables, the wine, the broth, whatever. Now I'm adding the sausage back in. Mix this up, and now it's going in the oven for 12 to 15 minutes. I'm going to put a timer on for 12 minutes and see how the squash is. If it's still a little hard, then I'm going to leave it for 15 minutes. If not, then it's ready. Once it's ready, then that's when I'm going to put the sage on top when I'm plating, and then it's also going to be very good with some Parmesan cheese if you have that. Again, that would make it not vegan or dairy free, but if you want, it's going to be super delicious. Okay, and here it is freshly out of the oven, still steaming hot. So as you can see, it has a sauce to it, so that's why I say it's great over gnocchi or pasta. But just for today, I don't want extra carbs. I'm getting enough carbs from the squash, so I'm not going to make that gnocchi or pasta.